Whew, boy, these are some trail monsters. These are the Adidas Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra. Yeah, it's a mouthful. So these shoes carry quite the pedigree across elite ultra and trail running. They're responsible for a handful of records, FKTs, podium performances, and overall wins across our sport. So you could say that I was a wee bit excited to get my pair, immediately put them into rotation. The Continental rubber outsole is classic Adidas and surprised me more than my experiences in previous Terrex offerings. The sticky grip when combined with Adidas' Light Strike Pro foam and TPE energy rods make this shoe feel fast and functional underfoot. I will say that the star of the shoe is the ever-popular minimal mesh upper that elites and marathoners alike have come to expect from Adidas' top offerings. It's thin, it's light, it's minimal, it's a joy. In the end, has Adidas created a magical elite racer that can take on the craziest and longest of trail events, or is this just another expensive and repetitive offering in the now saturated plated trail shoe space? Lots to chat about in today's review. Let's dive in. Ginger Runner. What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. Today we're talking about these bad boys. From Adidas, it is the Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra. It's a mouthful, and it's a shoeful. Two quick things before we dive into the review of the Adidas Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra. This is my brand new album, Misfit. It's available on all music streaming platforms, but this in particular is my album art that is printed on a postcard, and on that postcard is a thin layer of vinyl that is playable on a turntable. There is a limited number of these in existence. They're available now at the link in the description. I would be forever grateful if you wanted to help support the music and the stuff that we're doing on the channel here by either getting that limited edition vinyl postcard that you can play on your turntable, or getting a Misfit Run Club sweatshirt or any of the cool merch that we're offering in the link in the description. And second, as always, all products that I review on this channel are provided either by the manufacturer or our third-party running warehouse. I'm under no obligation to say anything positive or negative about anything that I review on this channel. I am not financially compensated in any way for anything that I say in these reviews. All opinions are my own. No one has to approve it. You're the first to see it, so give yourself a pat right on the left shoulder. And without further ado, let's dive into the review of the Adidas Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra. We start with the basics, the things that I like and dislike about every product that I review. As always, starting with things that I like. Bouncy. The shoe just feels very electric underfoot, very energy intensive, and really wants to propel you forward. So it's that rod-plated midsole with the Light Strike Pro. Those two in combination with one another make for a very fun ride, and it's well worth your time checking out. Minimal, yet comfortable. So the shoe gives you ground feel, so it kind of gives you that minimal, closer to the ground experience, but with that Light Strike Pro, with that plate and rod through the midsole, it does still give you a lot of dynamicism. So it's still very comfortable, it's cushioned. You get some of that protection while also making you feel close to the ground, very fast, and that's a fun thing. Continental outsole. So this was an unexpected like with this version of the shoe. I've had other Adidas shoes in the past with the Continental outsole. I don't know if they've changed the recipe or something. It's grippy, and right now the weather's been not great. Very wet and muddy, and I've been able to get some pretty damn good traction with the Continental outsole. That being said, it's not all decorating your house the day after Halloween for the holidays that are upcoming. I'm talking Christmas lights and taking a bath in Skittles. There are a couple of things that I dislike about the Adidas Terrex Agravic Ultra Speed Ultra. Let's get to those now. Lateral stability. So the shoe, having a Light Strike Pro midsole and the plate in combination, make for a very fun ride, though unstable ride, especially laterally back and forth. And I think that's due in part to this sort of horizontal wedge that's shaved out of that midsole material. So yes, you can see the plate, you can see the nylon materials in there on both sides of the shoe. What that does is makes that a collapsible part of the platform. And unfortunately, you get a little bit of stability issue when you're staying up in the forefoot, and then the heel itself, also pretty narrow. Just looking at the outsole, you'll notice how narrow it gets through the midfoot. That just contributes to a bit of an unstable, especially in technical terrain, flow when you're running. And just needed to make note of that. Fit and laces. I don't think the fit's terrible, but I do think it's very narrow. And I think the laces are super annoying. So while I do like the mesh uppers, very thin, very breathable, the laces are also very thin, and they almost look like Woody's hat from Toy Story. They sort of had this braided effect, and I don't know, it just kind of gets annoying, and it's very difficult to pull through the holes and to get it really dialed down. So you're gonna have to do like intricate dial-ins every time you put the shoe on. and that definitely becomes annoying. And finally, the price. $220 for these bad boys. They've created something here that on the road surface or in their road realm would certainly be a very expensive shoe, and it's very much expensive on the trail end of things as well. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be able to compete against some of the other more expensive trail shoes just because of some of the downfalls and pitfalls of the shoe. It's just a lot of money. So yeah, but that is it for likes and dislikes. Let's get a bit more specific in our breakdown where we talk about the build, the comfort, the fit, the price, and the looks of the shoe. Those 5 criteria. Same every product that we review here. Starting with build quality. I do think that the shoe's built quite well. We're talking the materials that they're using. This mesh is highly durable. The glues, everything's holding together very well. The welded overlays, the stitching that brings the layers of that mesh together. It's holding up well. Even the rubber's doing pretty well on the outsole. So got to give them accolades for that. Comfort. I like the bounce of the midsole. I've talked about that. I like the snappiness of the midsole. I like that. The fit is a bit dicey, so it is a bit narrow. The lacing system is not ideal. Just wanted to make sure I point that out. And the heel counter, while stiff, also not very cushioned. So you might get a little bit of Achilles rub on there. Just need to point that out. Price, $220, already talked about it. It's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money for a shoe that I feel like would be up against something like the Tecton X3, Effective Pro, other trail shoes that both have plates, good grip, and some really dynamic uppers. This would not be my first choice. And finally, looks. I don't mind the orange here, but man, is it just me, or has orange and like blue just been the combo for the last 3 or 4 years in the trail running space, maybe even some of the road space? Hoka's been doing this color for a number of seasons. It's over for me, but it still stands out. And you can recognize them for sure on the feet of those favorite elites of yours that might be crossing the finish line first, second, third, top 10, setting new course records or FKTs. They're pretty recognizable, despite them being a color that is so similar to what's already existed in the trail space. Yeah. All right, so that brings us to our conclusion. The Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra is a super fun shoe. While it certainly has some characteristics that will not work for everyone, the shoe itself has done quite well on the right feet. For me, my $220 is probably better spent on a more robust, maybe longer lasting shoe, more cushion underfoot, and some Red Bull, rather than pretending that this is the everything that I need in a trail racer. It's a lot, but maybe not quite enough, especially for the bucks. Okay, bringing us to our final criteria. Is the Adidas Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra Speed? It's just a lot of words. A buy, try, or a why? Because of that really comfortable midsole and the plates, I'm going to give it a try. If you get a chance, put your foot in it, maybe take it for a couple miles, give it a good spin. It might be something that works for you, especially if you are a competitive ultra runner or trail runner looking to set new PRs, new course records. If you're looking to podium, first, I appreciate you watching these videos. But second, these might be the kind of shoes that give you that extra edge that you have been looking for. Yeah, I know that they can perform at the top level, but can they perform at the top level consistently over a long period of time? Because that is what I am looking for in a $200 plus shoe. Something that stands the test of time. All right, tables now turn to you. Have you run in the Adidas Terrex Agravic Speed Ultra? Is it something that you would consider running in? Are you interested in them at all? Do you take Adidas seriously in the trail running space yet? Let me know in the comments of this video. And that, my friends, is it for today's review. Remember, go grab yourself one of these, one of the Misfit album art postcards with vinyl printed on it. You can play on your turntable. Grab yourself a sweatshirt, do any of that kind of stuff. I've got links all over that will take you to those places. Subscribe to the channel. Go across social media, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week.